Should I go now?
And we're rolling.
There we go. Caleb told you, gave you the go.
Showrunner Caleb, you're like Stedman.
Well, now he just said, wait 1 second. Was he messing with me or was he?
I was messing with you.
Okay, all right. All right, so it is the rundown, January 8th, 2020. Here we are, Rone, Big Cat, Brandon Walker. All right, Caleb over there on the mic. Hello to everyone.
Hello, Brandon.
Hello.
Good to see you.
How are things?
Dude, man, you know.
I can sense there's a little awkwardness for you starting the rundown.
There's no awkwardness. I do this well every time I do it.
No, I know, but like the start of it,
It's like
we're at
beginning to run, going from a walk to
Because
a run,
I'm not
you're going to look
capable
awkward.
of the way that Dave opens the rundown. Every day he opens the rundown, he doesn't know the date. I always know the date. That's the first thing I familiarize myself with in the morning. I wake up, I look at the date, and I know it for the rest of the day.
You look at the calendar every morning?
I do.
What do you have,
I look at my
page
phone.
a day
Yeah,
calendar?
no, I just know
And you
what
just
the date
cross
is.
it off?
I think it's very essential to know what day
Okay,
you're
what
entering.
date is it?
Today's the 8th.
And what date is it going to be 20 days from now?
The 28th.
Pretty good.
That was simple math.
Wait,
good
no,
stuff.
isn't that? But today's the 8th.
Right. So 20 days from now would be the 28th.
27th.
All right.
9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th.
29th.
Yeah, but you're counting today when you do that. No, you're not doing this to me. All right, movement watches are formed on the belief that style shouldn't break the bank. They have sold almost 2 million watches worldwide by bringing quality designs at fair prices. We're always wearing movement around headquarters. It's so nice to have a simple watch that actually tells time instead of a watch that blows up my wrist with my intrusive notifications. Movement watches start at just $95. Normally, you're looking at $400 for the same quality from a traditional brand. Get 15% off with free shipping and free returns by going to mvmt.com/rundown. Movement is launching new styles on their site all the time. Check out their latest at mvmt.com/rundown and join the movement. Are you in the movement?
What's your favorite part of the movement watch you're wearing right now?
Well, I'm not wearing a watch. I don't wear watches, but when I do,
invisible?
it's a movement watch.
I wore a non-movement watch that gave me a rash.
Did it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
I
see.
wore a non-movement watch and it ended up being a bomb. Remember the clock kid?
The Great Bomb Scare.
Clock kid.
You bought a watch from the Clock Kid?
Remember clock kid?
I remember Clock Kid.
That was
yeah.
Who was Clock Kid?
simpler times.
It was like a 14-year-old that was
He brought a
Sold
clock
bombs?
into his middle school, and then they were like, "That's a bomb," but it wasn't. They just
It was
It
a
was
clock.
a clock.
it was a little maybe
You
a
can
little
see how they
racial
get-
profiling.
I think they were. Well, he was also. There was some
What race
problematic
brings in
things.
bombs?
What?
What race brings bombs? How can you racial profile
Well,
Brandon?
you know, no, I didn't racial profile him. I wasn't at the school
Sound like
at
you're
the
about
time.
to.
I wasn't going to
Who
do
would
that
you
at all.
most likely think would wear a bomb?
Ethnically.
So Tom Brady goes on Instagram and he lets everybody know that he does in fact have more in the tank. He says he's coming back next year. He's a little vague on whether he's coming back to New England. I think that's going to get sorted out in due time, but he is not retiring. He will in fact play another year.
Is that news? It
Not really surprising.
doesn't seem like news to me.
I think that's very big news. It was it led ESPN.com
It's news,
today.
but I just would I would have been shocked.
Well, we were speculating over the weekend. Is this it? Is it in New England, or is he going to retire? He is 43 years old. I think when the greatest of all time says, no, I'm not retiring, that is newsworthy.
Okay, agreed.
I don't think that there was ever a chance that he was going to retire, though. I thought that there was no chance that he was going to retire
Well,
after this season.
you don't know what's in Tom Brady's head. Perhaps in October he said, I'm
But
going to
hasn't he
retire.
been saying
A lot of water.
45? Yeah, tons of water.
He almost drowned himself.
Did he?
In his book, he says that you should drink so much water that it's like borderline drowning
Did
yourself.
you read Tom Brady's book?
I did not.
But he said that. Did you see that in Australia? They have to kill 10,000 camels because they're drinking too much water?
There's
Those
camels
fucking
in Australia?
camels.
They have to shoot camels from a helicopter
the
because they're
water?
drinking too much. No, because they're just drinking all the people water.
Are they going to get the water out of the camels? And
They
then-
should. They should maybe kill 5,000
Reclaim
of them
them?
and just reclaim the water and just let the other 5,000 live.
Are there really camels in Australia?
Yes.
Dude, there's everything in Australia.
Yes.
I didn't think there were camels.
There's camels in Australia.
They need that water
What
right now.
ethnicity do you think camels are, Brandon?
I think
Xenophobic Brandon.
I
over
do
here.
think camels are, in fact, a lot of them are Middle Eastern.
That's fucked up, dude.
That's not fucked up. They're
They're
animals.
I just told you how they're in Australia, and there's a genocide of camels right now, and now you're saying that they
But I
don't
think
exist.
there's a genocide of most animals in Australia because of
The
the fire.
fires.
That's
Somebody
not a
said
genocide.
1 billion animals have been killed.
No.
I heard-
billion.
I heard that same number, but are they
But
counting
that's counting.
ants?
How do they
yeah,
know?
that's
They
counting
count
for
ants,
you could
creepy
you could
crawlies.
you could put a fire in one anthill and that's like 1 million.
Yeah.
It's actually true.
Yeah.
Okay.
What
That's
are you
a good
gonna?
point. Nothing else about Brady? Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't finished with Brady.
Okay, sorry.
You guys kind of moved on. I wasn't finished. Anything else about Brady?
Nope.
Caleb.
Yo, who do you guys think should be Mississippi State's new head coach?
Son of a
Great
Good
question, Caleb.
Good question.
I think it should be.
Steve Sarkisian.
Steve Sarkisian from USC is a trending name, or he's actually at
He would
Alabama
love
now?
it in Mississippi.
What does that mean?
Whoa.
That
How?
stinks
Okay,
that-
if you hire Steve
Lot of liquor.
Sarkisian,
He's been
how
clean
many-
for 4 years.
How many jokes about Steve Sarkisian's drinking until you shove a person?
Oh, I think I would have a long leash there. I
Okay.
think, I
Like
think,
a week?
No, I think it would be in the summer probably.
Could
Several
you
months.
imagine if Brandon Walker went to Penn State?
Oh
he
my
wouldn't be
God.
able. He wouldn't have the stomach to deal with those jokes.
The Joe Panu, because you would have tied in so much of your identity to
You
being
would
a
have
Penn
been
State fan that
walking
like
around with all that.
I haven't tied my
tension.
identity into being a Mississippi State fan. I don't get mad when people like steal my cowbell or anything.
People steal your cowbell, dude? Who's?
Yeah, it kills mother. It
That's
kills
not
mother.
anger though. Yes, I would. No, I would not kill my mother to win
It
a
would be a
national
crime
title.
of passion
I would
for
allow
his
someone
sports
to
team.
kill my mother to win a national
which is
title.
passively
Yes.
killing your mother.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't have the heart to do it. But if you said my mother would die and Mississippi State would win a national title this year, I would think
How
about
would
that.
you have the person kill your mother?
Oh, we'd have to discuss that. How
Well, let's discuss.
How impressive is the national title victory?
Very.
Oh, you guys won by like 50.
Who'd we beat?
Bama.
Bama.
No.
So we beat them twice in a year?
You beat him twice.
Oh wow. Oh, dealer's choice. However you want to
Really?
do it.
Oh wow.
Bloody chainsaw.
Damn.
Dude,
A
I mean,
rusty chainsaw. Just
Yeah.
a small cut, and then she actually dies from an infection a month later.
Right. The most painful way to go.
So, yeah. Iran bombs us last night. They bombed
Oh.
2 military
This
bases.
is a light topic.
But they didn't. Trump just walks out there today. They didn't kill anybody. They didn't really hurt anything, and that seems to be. Hopefully, maybe it's over. Maybe we're not going to escalate any further. Maybe we did this thing, they did that thing, and it's over.
Yeah,
Yes?
it feels like that thing that they did. That was kind of like, hey, move those guys out of there. We're gonna throw a couple bombs, and then we're gonna tell everyone.
But
like,
they
we're
told
even.
us on their state TV they killed 30 people, when in fact they killed 0 people.
No, I think they killed 0 Americans and maybe 30 people who aren't American, which is 0 people.
And then
to
that
you.
plane went down. That was crazy.
That was crazy.
And they had earthquakes. They had 2 earthquakes in Tehran at the same time.
Fucking
Maybe it's God crying, you know?
War. He
Caleb,
doesn't want more war.
What would you guys like to see Clint Eastwood tackle as his next topic for a film? Coming fresh off Richard Jewell's story.
Oh.
The
How was
Atlanta
that? Did he do a
bombing.
nice job? Does he need a bounce back story?
Good
or is he working
question.
with house money?
I
Good
don't know.
question.
But I know that was a exciting topic matter.
I would like for him to do a game show controversy, like when that guy, the press your luck, the no whammy guy. I'd like a movie about that guy.
Or
Clint
the
Eastwood
American
directing.
who wants to be or American Slumdog Millionaire.
That's good.
Or a coming of age story about an old man and it's a dystopian future and they try and take his guns.
And he's just sitting on his porch the entire movie.
And saying, "You
he
won't
never.
take my
Yeah, it's
guns."
like the movie Phone Book.
Yes. he's
Or
just on
phone
his
booth.
porch. Yeah.
But it's the porch.
Porch.
That's
yeah.
what it's called. The porch.
Yes, I'll watch it. He's
I
just
would watch
gritting
The
his
Porch.
teeth,
He's
fucking
Just
rocking
on
in
the
a chair.
whole. It's a one shot, only one camera.
I dare them to take my guns.
So then everyone, all like the nerds are like, oh, it was so artistic, you don't get it. It's like,
Yeah.
but we couldn't see anything because only one camera.
Quaron shoots it.
It's actually just one drone camera.
So here's something.
It's him just trying to shoot a drone out of the sky.
Get off my
and the
property.
movie lasts just as long as it takes for him to shoot it out of the sky.
I watch it. I watch it.
The porch.
But if he's trying to shoot out of the sky, the porch can't be covered.
Well,
Well,
if it's in
the
front of him.
angles.
If it's
Okay.
in front of him, he
All right.
can't shoot right above him.
Right.
But then the
If I were the drone operator, it would feel easy then.
No,
to,
the drone always has to be within his shot.
and the
Unlimited ammo.
unlimited. Well, he
The
has unlimited guns.
best drone operator that we can find.
The video game spinoff would be so sick.
Oh
That would
yeah.
be great.
Oh yeah.
Here's something I didn't know that could happen. So Prince Harry and Meghan are resigning from the royal family. This just happened.
Wait,
they're the
that's who it was?
They're the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, and they are
Wait,
walking
Prince
away.
Harry and Meghan Markle?
Yeah, they just got married like a couple,
You can do that?
You just leave the family?
They-
Is it like a kid at Thanksgiving who's like, I'm not a part of this family
They
anymore?
issued a
You're
statement.
like, you're not my dad.
They're withdrawing from the family, and they're taking steps to now become financially independent. They're walking away from all that royal money.
Hold up,
Empty
hold
nesters?
up, hold up.
This seems like the
hold up.
dumbest thing ever.
No, that doesn't seem like the dumbest thing ever. That seems bullshit because they can just use the fact that they're a royal family to make money.
Yeah.
They should have to literally start from scratch and change their names.
But to make maximum money, wouldn't they then have to tell on the royal family? They have to have a lot of tell-all books and shit.
Don't you think they're going to
No.
do that?
I would assume
Don't you
so.
think that's why they're leaving the royal family?
So-
Because of the pedophilia?
They're going to split their time between the UK and North America, so they're going to live here a little
That's
bit.
vague.
That would be dope, though, if they were just in New York. And
Or what?
we
No,
just
I
saw
was just
Prince
saying, like,
walking
what if
around.
they went to like Edmonton?
Oh, okay. Oh, North America?
Yeah, there's like whatever. You guys thought we were gonna go to like
We're
Chicago
in
or New
Juarez,
York.
Mexico.
Yeah,
You-
no,
said
this is
North
where we're
America.
hanging out.
I could
Yeah.
see it. I could see it, a little anonymity.
If you were a royal, would you ever stop being a royal?
Fuck no.
It doesn't sound, because couldn't you just not do all the royal things and still be part of the
What
royal
royal
family?
things do they have to do on a daily basis?
I think you gotta like. There's always
Cheese
like
parties,
processions and stuff. Like,
Parades, dressing ceremonies.
yeah, you gotta like show up with the tux on.
They're getting
an
emancipated
ascot.
pretty
You have
much.
to have at least 15 ascots.
Does this
Yeah.
end in a divorce and he runs back to the royal family at some point?
No
Oh,
way.
you think this is Meghan Markle's like, yo, I hate your family?
A little bit.
But she kind of knew the deal.
I mean, he never left before her.
But, I mean, don't you think that she knew what she was getting into? It wasn't really a surprise who his family was.
Yeah, you think like the first Christmas, she's like, wait, this is it?
There's never a surprise, but the wife always tries to just whittle away a little bit at a time. A little bit at a time. And then 5 years later, you don't even talk to your family.
Really?
That's how it happens.
Is that what's
That's how that
happening?
shit happens.
Isn't it? You just moved
I
to
didn't
New York.
visit my dad in prison once
Really?
because she didn't want to go.
Really?
Well,
and
you
you
couldn't
couldn't do
go?
it alone. Who was going to brush your hair beforehand?
Any questions about the royal family, Caleb?
Who's gonna tell you the date?
If you guys could say one thing to the Queen, but you only get to say one thing, but she has to respond.
Do we get it? Is it asking a question or do you a
You can be a statement too, but you only get to say one thing, but she has to respond. She can't just like tell you fuck off.
But can I ask a hard-hitting question
Yeah,
or something
dude.
like
Yeah,
that?
What's
that's.
your
I'm
hard-hitting
hoping
question?
that you would.
How
About
many?
anything.
How many women have you been with?
Whoa.
You know that queens are always with women. Did you see that story about the Queen last year, the Oscar movie?
Was
Oh,
it a
yeah.
story or a movie?
It was
Yeah.
a movie about, but it's a true story about this queen who is the favorite.
Okay,
It's like
all right.
she's just like sleeping with one of her assistants. I think all
Whoa.
queens do that.
What would you ask her, Big Cat?
I'd ask her, what's the biggest dump you've ever had?
Oh yeah, and she has to answer.
She has to answer. Yeah.
She
You know,
probably
she'd be
has
like,
had
well,
some.
it was, Super Bowl 45. Prince Harry brought buffalo chicken dip.
Do you think the Queen knows about aliens?
No, I don't think so.
Is
She
that
doesn't know
just-
state secrets? I bet she does.
She
I don't
has
think
to
she's
do.
burdened with state secrets.
But do you think she could just ask someone and ask Tony Blair and he'll tell her?
I don't think Tony Blair would tell her.
What would you ask her? Who's going to be the next
I would
head
ask her
coach of
when,
Mississippi State?
when she thinks she's going to die. She's very old.
That's not a bad question.
She's very old.
What is she
She's been
supposed
the
to
queen for
say?
like 60
Bum around?
years. Are
Now.
you worried about Prince Charles ever making a move? Because he's been waiting to be the king
Oh,
for
what
his
about
whole
Prince
life.
Andrew? Maybe like that. Like, hey, Prince Andrew.
How about
He
Prince
was,
Andrew?
yeah, it seems like he was pretty good friends with Jeffrey Epstein.
That's what. Is that why they're leaving the family? That has to have something to do with it. Or do they just not like the tradition?
I didn't
really
put
thought
that together.
They can't distance their brand from the royal family.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's their blood.
maybe ask, is it true that Prince Andrew overdosed on adrenaline and couldn't sweat for many years?
That's a great
Remember
question.
that story?
They said he can't sweat.
He tried to like get out of like an accusation. Like some woman was like, yeah, he was like groping me and all
So this
sweaty.
guy's just a bad dude.
Yeah, he's a bad dude. He's like, I was all sweaty. He's like, well, I actually have not sweat since I went to the Falkland Islands and overdosed on adrenaline.
Well, that's a great excuse, though. That's a phenomenal
Wild.
excuse.
But if you could prove it wrong, you know what I mean? That would
No.
kind of pop a hole in it.
Open up everything.
Jeopardy Greatest of All Time tournament. We were actually here together. We didn't really watch it. We were watching basketball.
Watched the one round.
We watched
it
it
was
first
last night. I dominated as well.
You were watching it alone for the second half.
I
You were playing
dominated.
against no one.
I dominated that.
You were playing one-on-one basketball.
Jeopardy Greatest of All Time. Brad against James against Ken Jennings.
Against Brandon Walker.
And Ken Jennings has a 200-point lead. It's not dollars, it's points over James. Brad is also there. I think the finale
Brad
is
is
tonight.
also there. That
so
was mean.
pretty tough questions. It was a pretty intriguing event.
James just Brad screwed himself by missing on those on the daily doubles. That was his problem.
He wasted it for everyone else too. That's where James makes his money.
But they say James' strategy of the daily doubles has inspired Ken Jennings now to do the same thing.
It's a copycat league.
And Ken Jennings daily doubled last night and barely got one, but he got it. He thought about it for a while. He got it, and thus he has the lead by adopting Big Brain James' strategy.
He's got to do something new.
So the game is ever evolving. This is like Magic Johnson going one-on-one with LeBron James.
But there's 3 of them.
And who would he be? Like Jack Sigma? I don't think he's in their league.
He's Detlef Schrempf.
That works.
Detlef Schrempf is the other one. They're that much better than him.
Appears to be.
Sucks.
So
I guess Brad's a legend.
he has won the most money of anybody in Jeopardy history.
If you're a legend like that, why would you even risk your legendary status?
Haven't they gone head-to-head before?
So here's the 3. Ken Jennings has the longest winning streak. James owns the single game record, actually the top 5 single games. And Brad, by virtue of doing all these tournaments and all these end-of-year tournaments, has won the most money ever. He's won over $4 million at Jeopardy. Ken Jennings, 3.5, and Big Brain James, like 2.8.
I think it's Jeopardy, James.
I like Big Brain James.
Big Brain is the show that Barstool hosts.
But he also goes by that sometimes.
It's like James Shield when he was
Don't you
Big
think that's
Game
branding
James?
if I call him Big Brain James?
I mean, it seems like you're giving a free branding to him, and he's not part of our brand.
Okay, Jeopardy James. Jeopardy James is boring because he's on Jeopardy. That's a boring nickname.
Yeah, but now
It
you know, like,
describes
hey,
him.
what does James do? Oh, yeah, he does Jeopardy.
Caleb.
Who would you guys like to see, but they have to already be existing in that space, take over for Trebek? But they have to already be a host in some
Drew
Oh,
way.
Carey.
White. Vanna White.
Oh, I thought you just meant A White.
Yeah. There's an NFL owner over here, dude.
Dan Patrick.
Dan Patrick. No,
He doesn't
no
really-
Booger
He hosts
McFarland,
Sports
nobody.
Jeopardy.
Ben Stein.
Ben Stein.
Ben Stein's too old. He can't take over right
John
now. It's got to be a
Madden.
30,
John
35-year-old.
Madden, yeah.
Madden's still around.
What's the guy from Survivor?
Probst.
Probst.
Jeff Probst.
He's not
Oh,
smart
TJ.
enough.
TJ Lavin.
TJ Lavin.
TJ Lavin, final answer.
Chris
He would be
Harrison
awesome.
from The Bachelor.
TJ
Final
Lavin
answer is
telling
Who
people
Wants to
they're
Be a
idiots.
Millionaire. It's not Jeopardy.
Oh, come
That's
on,
his
man.
final
Why did
answer.
they do that? The vibes were so good.
Sorry.
Riding high.
Roy Williams. Hey, Caleb,
man.
you'll have an opinion about this. Roy Williams calls North Carolina the least gifted team he's ever coached. They are 8-6. They're probably not going to make the tournament. They are struggling. He says they're the least gifted team he's ever coached. So my question to that is, isn't he telling us that he's no longer a very good recruiter? If the team he's putting on the floor sucks?
But isn't their top recruit hurt and out
He
for the
is, but
True.
still, you
Counterpoint.
would think a North Carolina could lose one player and not go 8-6 and be the least gifted team ever.
So this is one of those weird stories where if the team responds, then it's like that was motivation, and if they just keep stinking, like Roy Williams just an asshole.
So
No,
he is
slash
out.
he was right.
Slash, he was right.
Right, he is out no matter what. He's either a master motivator or he just calls it like he
Right.
sees it and is a dead
Kind
on
of
his
sucks
side.
though to be like, I go to, like, because some of these guys, like, oh yeah, I went to UNC, I played ball at UNC, like what year? Like 2019, 2020. It's like, oh, the worst team ever.
The least gifted team.
Yeah, the funniest part about the quote was he said, these guys could bring their A game and it still might not be an A game.
Oh, man.
It might
That's
not be
just
enough.
brutal.
Yeah.
So
That's
is,
bad news.
is his best player out for the year?
Yeah,
Cole Anthony?
I think so.
Cole
out for
Anthony
the
was
year.
going to be like a top 5 pick.
Still might be.
Yeah, that's,
I kind of like seeing Roy Williams lose. I don't have anything against North Carolina. I like North Carolina because their uniforms are so great. But I don't know. Roy Williams is one of those guys who's been good forever. I like to see those guys lose every now and then.
Were they just too good last year? Do you
Is
think
that why you
Great-
want to see Mississippi State win so
Yeah,
bad?
greatness is like people who are great are very threatening to Brandon Walker.
Yeah.
That's not true.
Yeah, you don't like greatness.
Dak.
I'm not threatened by. Well,
No, he's not great.
that's why he likes him?
Yeah,
He's mediocre. He's no threat to Brandon.
right. Anyone Brandon sees greatness and he sees that as a threat
To him,
to
personally.
him personally.
Dak Prescott has more playoff wins.
Wait,
than
that wasn't
Carson Wentz.
Caleb's question. Caleb just had a comment. He didn't do
Okay,
a
do
question.
you have a question now?
Well, you guys hadn't finished your
Oh, we're good.
conversation. You
We're
didn't
good.
even say anything that you thought.
I know I said the thing about liking to see Roy Williams lose.
All right.
Intimidated by greatness.
Do you guys think that the XFL's new rules are going to be more exciting or confusing to future fans?
I think they will be confusing at first.
Confusing. New numbers. New
When I say
numbers fuck me
when
up.
I say confusing at first, I don't know how long they're going to last, but I'm excited that I'm going to be confused.
Do you think it was a miss by them just being able to have that fresh, clean slate, not to go with the metric system to grow the brand outside of the U.S.
Oh,
Damn, that's a great
great
question.
question. Meters, 100 meters, 110 meters.
And 100 meters is almost exactly the same length as 100 yards.
Isn't it like 10 yards longer?
It's not that much longer.
Is that what do
The
what's
100 meters
Canadian
in-
football do?
20-yard end zones, right?
They have longer
Wouldn't
end
that be
zones and, like,
crazy
a
if they
longer
did
field, right?
110 yards, so it's 100 meters, and like all of a sudden all the wide receivers are getting caught at the goal line?
They're just gassed because
They
all they're
just were-
prepared for
yeah,
is
they're
100
all,
meters.
right. They just can't do it.
They're not ready for the extra meters.
So Baylor was playing basketball last night. They're playing Texas Tech. Close game late, and they broke out a
Your
football
pick
play.
that lost.
They broke out. It was also your pick.
That was
Yeah.
yours.
They broke out a football play. They went 4 wide, and they got the ball inbounds. They ended up winning the game. I'm sure we got video of this. It's very, very interesting the way they broke. I always like when a basketball team breaks out another sports play.
This is just genius.
It is genius.
It's not even a football play. It's just a great basketball play,
It is.
inbound play.
It is.
Like I watched it, I was like, yeah, this. Why would? I guess Reegs put it in his blog. Like Northern Kentucky's been doing it for a while.
That makes sense.
I don't understand when you're looking at the play, why didn't they play like man coverage? Because the one guy who wound up getting the
Yeah,
ball just
soft
ran a
zone.
button hook,
Right.
and everybody kind of
Jeff
had
D. Lowe.
retreated into a
Shout
soft
out.
zone. Yeah, it was like a Jeff D. Lowe-esque button hook. Like, why was nobody guarding that one guy? It feels like it'd be pretty easy to guard if, like, he just. It seems simpler than the complexity that the play suggested.
I just realized something. Caleb doesn't even know Jeff.
I know that's what I was going to say. Caleb, you weren't here.
You weren't here.
But we learned that Jeff D. Lowe only likes button hook patterns in
So
football.
KB made up a story that he met one of Jeff D. Lowe's, a kid he went to middle school with, and in the streets, Jeff D. Lowe would demand that he was the quarterback at all times, and he would only let the receivers run button hooks.
7-yard button hooks. Just,
And if they didn't,
Most
he'd
efficient
quit.
route in football.
He'd quit. He'd quit the game. It was Jeff D.
Jeff,
Lowe.
show us a button hook.
Show us one quick
Give
button
us a
hook.
button hook.
He only throws them. He doesn't run them.
Maybe someone could run one.
Do you think KB's ever done anything real in his life?
He is the definition of irony poison. Like he just doesn't know what he likes anymore.
Yeah,
He's the
damn,
ultimate
that's
boy
true.
who cry wolf.
Was that your question?
No.
Okay.
But are you ready for my question?
Yes.
All right. Tell me this. Do you think that should be socially acceptable to give political opinions in wartime?
Why
That's
wartime?
a deep question.
Why wartime? Because
I was kinda making up as I went.
More people?
You found yourself on a really deep
Yeah.
question.
Because it affects more people? Because
Just like, saying things get serious,
Too
is-
emotionally charged?
should you still be trying to get your opinions off? Is it a good time or a bad
I
time to
think
get your
it's.
opinions off?
I think the opinion shines the most when if it's a bad opinion, you look silly. But I think it's probably the best time to get off your opinion.
I think you should. Any opinion. The reason, if we're fighting for freedom, which I'm not saying that that's what we do anymore, but now I'm
Here
in
it comes his
deep. Now I'm
opinion.
in a deep.
Answering the question yourself.
If we were fighting for freedom, getting an opinion off is exactly what we're fighting for. That freedom to have the opinion.
That's a good take.
But I don't know if we're fighting for freedom anymore.
And there's your
Probably
opinion.
just fighting for oil.
And that's what they're fighting for, is for you to say that.
Yes, exactly.
Dope. I think no opinions. Never. Opinions should just be stuffed back in the bottle.
Opinions are for
I
assholes.
kind of like that too.
Yeah, I want to take also an opportunity to apologize for that question because I didn't
No,
have
that
anything
was a good
prepared.
question.
I
It
know,
was
it was a
deep.
good
And I was
question.
going off the
Deep.
top.
No, we have a good. That's a good discourse that you've opened up.
So last thing
Terrorists
here,
would hate that.
a guy lost his fantasy football
They're
league.
sick. The terrorists are puking right now.
Rolling over in
Discourse
their
fantasy
rather than
football
on the
league.
rundown.
And he was forced to do the Waffle House challenge. What is the Waffle House challenge? He had to spend 24 hours in a Waffle House, with the caveat that with every waffle that he ate, they subtracted an hour. So naturally, you would think, I'm just going to go eat 24 waffles. He cataloged everything, and apparently that was very hard. The waffles were big. He ate 4 immediately and filled up, couldn't eat anything else. So he ended up spending 12 hours in a Waffle House and ate 12 waffles. He says he was miserable. What do you think about the Waffle House challenge?
I love it.
I've never heard of it before, but it sounds like a daunting challenge. Did he have to have Waffle House waffles? Could he have
No.
BYOW'd some Eggos in that bitch?
It had to be Waffle House waffles. It had to be
Yeah.
the big version too.
Because Rone sat down and he was like, oh, so he only had to be there for an hour.
Yeah, he just
Rone
got
thought
out
he could
after
eat 24 waffles.
23 waffles. But if it's Eggo waffles, those are the easiest thing to eat.
How many Eggo waffles could you eat in an hour?
In an hour? I'm not like an eating challenge guy by any means, but like 12.
You're a slow eater.
It's very slow eating.
I don't
You
know.
are.
12?
12 is not
You get a whole box of 12 waffles in 1 hour.
12 cooked Eggo waffles, because you could eat like 4 of them in 1 minute. Their Eggo waffles are tiny. That's not a lot of substance. That's like saying
You
a
pop
piece
those
of bread.
things, yeah.
All right. Okay.
That's a good challenge.
But this guy went in with an attitude. He starved himself. Said he was going to knock it out quickly.
Starving yourself is the first problem. Your stomach shrinks.
Yeah,
I know.
you have to expand. You got to drink water.
It took
You got
him
to
12 hours to eat 12
Are they Belgian
waffles.
waffles? Their waffles are like thin. They're not like thick as Belgians.
He documented all this on Twitter. He showed the waffles. They were substantial waffles.
You got it. What's the syrup?
He minimized syrup. He didn't want anything
Oh,
else.
see, I think
but
that's a
waffle.
mistake. I think you need the lube.
He had syrup for the flavor, just a little bit of coating.
No, I think it's a lube thing. It's like an oil for your
A little
engine.
bit of codeine,
Now a little heaviness there. You're adding heaviness. Certainly, if you add butter, you're adding heaviness.
but they're probably cooked with some butter anyway. You think?
I don't
I don't
know.
know. How do you make your waffles?
I make everything with as much butter as possible.
Hell yeah, like Rachel Ray. That's why you got the arm.
Could you take a
jiggle.
nap?
That was quite.
Could you-
It wasn't really necessary. Was
Could you
it?
What do
nap?
you mean?
I just you jiggle my arm fat.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what
You
that's
wanna go
what
ahead and
butter
jiggle my
gives you.
titties a little bit,
That's
too?
what butter gives you.
Could you nap?
Could I nap during the? I don't know. I don't
Because
know.
if I could nap, I could just. I mean, the
I-
nap is the restoration of hunger.
So I think as it grew, he grew to earn the trust of the Waffle House people, and they were in on the challenge. I don't know that you could ever nap though, because you can't nap in an everyday Waffle House.
They're so bright.
They're
They're like bright at
Right.
all hours of the day.
Maybe bring a sleep mask.
that could do it.
Take a little
Caleb?
snooze.
Anything?
All right, so this next session is it's a segment of self-love.
All right.
So I want everyone to go around, and you have to say one nice and genuine thing about yourself that you mean, and you have to give yourself credit for being good.
All right. Dan, go first.
No, you go first.
I
Brandon.
want you to start, Brandon.
Brandon's gonna be. It's easy for Brandon.
I have fit into New York admirably,
Admirably.
Admirably.
Who's
You
Adam?
still can't speak.
very well. I moved my
Admirably.
family here, took a shot, and I'm winning. I'm winning at life.
I did a video yesterday about the Mummers Parade. I thought it was a very good video. I would love if people watched it.
It was a
because
good video.
I thought it was
And I
a good
thought
video.
you've done a good job fitting in.
Thank you.
Admirably.
I think I'm
Admirable.
good at incorporating outsiders, no matter how slow and dumb they may be, from Mississippi.
Yeah.
Wow.
I agree with you on that as well, Dan.
Thank you.
Yes, you've done a great
I
job.
would say that's a very
Very nice thing to
compliment
yourself.
myself. Yeah.
Very nice. I didn't say compliment other people. That wouldn't have been the spirit
No
of the
compliments
question.
to other people.
That actually would have been counter to the spirit of the question.
Caleb, do you have anything?
I think that I've done a good job moderating this discussion.
Yes,
An
I would
excellent
agree.
job.
All right.
A sublime
This is a
job.
great rundown.
Great rundown. That was good.
Is this are you serious? This is your first time doing this, Caleb?
This is my first time. How about this? Fun fact. I got hired from Barstool because I went on the rundown. And the main thing they told me is that you're going to come on the rundown every night. Since then, this is my first rundown.
Yes, and you were elected on your first rundown. Your first rundown, you also said, I actually, no joke, think that part of the reason why you got hired was the no gas.
No
No
gas.
gas. He said no gas, and Dave Portnoy's eyes sparkled. He's like, what does this fucking cool guy say?
It's like a slang,
No
like you
gas.
weren't gassing somebody
Yeah, he
up.
said no gas, and Dave was like, oh my God, I have to have him.
If you just throw
No
around
gas.
some slang.
No
No
gas.
gas.
I was downstairs and just heard it, and like my head popped.
Yeah,
What was that?
No Gas by Caleb Presley in 2014-ish electrified the nation.
Are you gassing
No
him up
gas.
right now?
No, I said
No
no,
gas.
gas.
No gas?
No gas. It was so smooth. No
Actually,
gas.
I did one rundown, I guess, in San Francisco or two.
We did at the Golden Gate
Yeah,
Bridge.
but besides that, this is my first one, so it's good to be back.
Yeah.
Welcome back, man. Let's
Welcome
gas
back.
this thing up.
All right. That's the rundown.
No gas.